The unregulated market simulation, capitalism. Okay, so we're strapping in for a really fast-paced tutorial today on the ultimate tycoon simulator, the unregulated capitalist economy. Imagine booting up this insanely complex city builder, right? But you've got zero cheat codes, absolutely no central planning, and basically no single player calling the shots. Who decides what gets made in a capitalist world? Well, hint, there is no final boss here. Like, if I were casting this like an esports match, I'd actually tell you to watch the ground level because this entire map is run by something completely invisible to the players. Price mechanism, the directing activity of producers, consumers, and resource suppliers determined through market forces of demand and supply without any controlling agency. Okay, let's dive into this. Enter the price mechanism. In our tycoon simulation, this is literally the core engine running the background code. It's the ultimate matchmaker. It's constantly reading these market forces of supply and demand, and it automatically sets an equilibrium where buyers and sellers can strike a deal. And it does the whole shebang without any controlling agency whatsoever. Let's see how this builds our first major gameplay mechanic. We're comparing high demand and high price equals maximum profit against falling demand and falling price equals reduced supply and less profit. Just imagine a massive line of digital avatars waiting for a super hyped product. High demand, high price, boom, maximum profit. Producers are going to rush to supply it. But then, on the flip side, picture a dusty, completely empty store. Falling demand means reduced supply and a lot less profit. Basically, resources just instantly move to wherever the cash is flowing. Consumer is king. Allocation and reallocation of resources depends entirely on consumer demand. Now, what's really interesting here is this realization that the consumer really is king. In this simulation, resource allocation depends entirely on consumer demand. I mean, if we demand a product, prices rise. Profits absolutely skyrocket, and the whole system just pivots to give us what we want. It's based purely on what we're willing to spend. How to produce for the highest returns at the lowest cost. So once you know what to make, how do you actually make it? We're kind of shifting into the strategy phase of the simulation now. The game forces producers to look really closely at factor prices, the actual cost of their inputs, so they can efficiently build their empire. You basically have two main meta strategies here. We're comparing labor-intensive techniques, which are used when labor prices are cheaper, with capital-intensive techniques, used when capital prices are cheaper. For the first one, think of hiring a big room full of affordable artisans. For the second, it's more like deploying a sleek assembly line of cheap robot workers. Your only real goal is just to combine resources as efficiently as possible to maximize those profit margins. And this brilliantly illustrates the final rule of our simulation, deciding exactly for whom to produce. In a capitalist economy, there's naturally an uneven distribution of income, with a visibly larger slice going to the wealthy. And because this whole system runs on the price mechanism, the market naturally caters to those who actually have the purchasing power. So higher demand from the wealthy just means the market automatically produces more goods specifically for them. The distribution of output depends on the distribution of income, which brings us to the ultimate win condition of the unregulated market. As the source material states directly, the distribution of output depends entirely on the distribution of income. It's honestly just a pure mathematical output. There's no central authority sitting around making moral judgments. Whoever holds the wages in the capital literally dictates where those final products go. Given these rules, how would you play the game? So we've broken down the core engine, the different production strategies, and that final distribution of rewards. You've seen exactly how the invisible hand of the price mechanism does all the heavy lifting. So, given all these rules and the pretty ruthless mechanics of supply, demand, and profit, how would you play the game?